Students, so far we have introduced our lesson. We have also seen the climatic controls, various factors affecting India's climate, and now it's turn to know more about the Indian monsoon. Okay? So, the climate of India is strongly influenced by monsoon winds, and monsoon is a seasonal change in the direction of the prevailing or strongest winds of a region. So, monsoons are most often associated with the Indian Ocean. So, you can see here India and huge Indian Ocean. So, the sailors who came to India in historic times were one of the first to have noticed this phenomenon of the monsoon. Now, these sailors were benefited from the reversal of the wind system as they came by sailing ships at the mercy of winds. Now, when we are talking about the reversal, that means the prevailing winds for India are these trade winds, okay? North, east trade winds. But during particular seasons, we experience the reversal. That means this south trade winds, when they cross this equator, because of the Coriolis force, they turn towards the Indian subcontinent, right? So, this reversal system, this is called as the monsoon. Now, monsoon, how this particular wind was renamed, or how that particular wind got its name as monsoon. So, this naming ceremony was done by these Arab sailors, right? Looking at the seasonal reversal of this wind system, they named them as monsoon. That means in their language it is mosim. That means seasonal. Okay, so this way our winds, our means the winds which give rainfall to India, they got their name as monsoon wind. Now, the monsoons are experienced in the tropical area roughly between 20 degree north and 20 degree south. Okay, in both the hemispheres, obviously. So let us understand the mechanism, that means how does it work? And for that, we should know certain facts about this mechanism. So, in nutshell, so far we understood something about rainfall, and I can express in this flow chart, like if we want rainfall, obviously we need wind with moisture. Now you know that wind always blow from high atmospheric pressure to low atmospheric pressure. Yes, and we want wind with moisture, but this moisture also should get, means this wind will get this moisture only and only this wind is blowing over the water body, right? So if India wants rainfall, we need low pressure. Okay, we also need somewhere near to us the high pressure, high atmospheric pressure area. Okay, at the same time, when wind is going to blow from this high atmospheric area to low atmospheric area, which should be in our country, right? And this movement, along with this movement, there should be a water body. So when wind are going to move from high pressure to low pressure over this water body, they will bring moisture. Okay, wind laden with moisture or water, which will give us rainfall. Yes, so this is in short I can tell you the mechanism of monsoon, but and this exactly matches with our country. And to understand, let us know some few facts. So the first one is the differential heating and cooling of land and water. Okay, this is the first point to understand how monsoon works. So, you know this, right? You have learned that, I think, twice before this. So, when there are two surfaces, water body and land, and both of them get temperature, there is a difference in receiving the temperature, right? Like this adamant boy, water takes time to heat and equally for cooling down. But similarly, land heats and cools fast, right? If you remember this image, again the process of sea breeze, the breeze which moves from water or ocean to land. So due to the intense heat, land heats fast, right? Temperature increases and pressure goes down. We get low pressure over that landmass. Similarly, water heats comparatively less, so creating less temperature, and it becomes an area of high pressure. And we always know wind always move from high pressure to low pressure. Yes. Now this is a sea breeze, right? You also know the different name of that onshore wind. Now this particular concept we are going to use here to understand in context with India. Okay, so differential heating and cooling of land and water creates here. Now this land, our Indian landmass, gets heat during summer, right? So warm air rises and it creates a low pressure. Remember the low pressure. So our Indian landmass has got the low pressure, the major requirement to attract winds. Okay, now we have here the water body also, right? So water body is going to create the high pressure because of the comparatively less temperature, right? So now, yeah, so here we have a high pressure, atmospheric high pressure, and here we have atmospheric low pressure areas. Yeah. So this was about the differential heating and cooling of land and water. This satisfies our first condition. Okay. Now the second fact about the shift of the position of intertropical convergence zone. To understand, obviously first we have to understand what is intertropical convergence zone. So name only suggests us somebody is going to converge or somebody is going to meet. Now who are they? So they are someone from tropics, right? So intertropical convergence zone. So these two tropical areas are there, right? Tropic of Cancer and equator, this particular area and this, right? These two tropical areas, northern and southern. Now here we can see who is converging? Trade winds, right? Northeast trade winds and southeast trade winds. Okay, you can get a, and this particular is where they are meeting, that particular area is called as the intertropical convergence zone, and it is a low pressure belt. Okay, along means it will be always parallel to the equatorial belt, 5 degree north to 5 degree south. Yeah, you can see here northeast trade wind, southeast trade wind, right? They are meeting here at this ITCZ belt. Yeah. Now You can see this picture also. This band of cloud, if you can see, it is extending on the center of the earth. This is the equatorial belt, right? And 5 degree north to 5 degree south. So the two winds are coming and converging here, right? Now this ITCZ is also known to the sailors around the world as the doldrums. Okay, doldrums, zone of doldrums. Now you can see here this dotted line. This is normally it is like, lies near or less parallel to the equator, but we can see the movement of this belt somewhere in the northern hemisphere or in the southern hemisphere. Why? Because of the apparent movement of the sun. Okay, so you can see this equator. This is equatorial trough, or we can say the equatorial narrow belt. I'm talking about ITCZ. Now ITCZ is always a belt of low pressure. Yeah, it is a belt of low pressure. Normally it is located at 5 degree north or 5 degree south. That is a equatorial belt, right? But during summer, you can see the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. Yes or no? Yeah. And because of this shift, what happens? The shift of the position of intertropical convergence zone also results due to the change in that, the change of sun's position in summer. And this shift you can see here in the Ganga plains, right? So now ITCZ belt gets shifted from here till here. Yeah, it shifts from here to here. That means the low pressure belt is getting shifted from here to here, right? And this particular area is also called as the monsoon trough during the monsoon season. Yeah, so now we are getting here the low pressure belt during summer. You understand? Low pressure belt. We want the area of low atmospheric pressure to attract the winds from the high pressure belt over the water body. So this is what is happening during the summer, right? Okay. Now the third factor, we have seen something about the low pressure. Now what about the high pressure? So here is the high pressure, that is little away from India. The presence of the high pressure area east of Madagascar, yeah, approximately at 20 degrees south over the Indian Ocean. Yeah, so you can see here the high pressure belt here, okay, east of the Madagascar. Now the intensity and position of this high pressure area also affects the Indian monsoon. Yeah, so this was the third factor which is causing high pressure, which is also required, right, to bring monsoon in India. Now we are going to see something which is related to Tibet. Okay, Tibet. You can see here, we have seen that already. So the Tibetan plateau get intensely heated during summer, right, which results in strong vertical air currents. Yeah, we have seen that already. And formation of the low pressure over the plateau at about 9 kilometer above the sea level. Okay, so this low pressure belt also helps our monsoon winds, okay, which are coming over Indian Ocean. They are getting attracted towards this low pressure belt. low pressure over here, low pressure here we have seen, right, at Gangetic Plain. Yeah. So now we are going to see the next such thing which suits the entire mechanism, and that is the movement of the westerly jet stream to the north of the Himalayas and the presence of the tropical easterly jet streams over the Indian peninsula during summer. So you have seen what happens during winter. We have seen the westerly jet streams, the presence of them to the south of the Himalayas, okay, and during summer, they get shifted towards the north of the Himalayas. During that time only, we can see the presence of subtropical easterly jet streams where towards the South India at 14° north latitude. And this particular thing, it moves towards east, right? It moves towards east, and it helps there that Madagascar we have seen a high pressure belt. These jet streams help those high pressure areas to become intense, and which ultimately helps our monsoon stronger. Okay, so this way we have seen how this entire mechanism works.